This is Darren Marchant with American Nomad News, with a special segment on the video game Minecraft, and in particular, a server environment called 2B2T. This particular segment is a second in a series of reports regarding this environment. In this episode, I touch on the concepts of how 2B2T server environment and its lack of rules can be seen as a checksum baseline on the effect of players on the physical environment displayed in the video game, as compared to other environments such as the Vatican Minecraft server. In this segment about the video game Minecraft, and specifically the server called 2B2T, I want to talk about something really interesting that occurred to me in a discussion on Discord with one of the players who has been playing in that environment for some time now. Because the environment is dramatically modified by the players, the actual experience of navigating the environment is changed by the players. The obstacles and constructions, buildings that are viewable in this 3D digital environment are made by the players. This is different than virtually any other navigable environment video game. And thus it is a representation of the people who play the game. The way that Minecraft is designed, depending on whether you go to one server or another, you're going to have a dramatically different experience. 2B2T is a community that has, from the beginning, operated with very few social rules at all. There's very limited interaction from the owner of the system or any moderators that might be involved. And it occurred to me that there's a very interesting feature that comes out of that. While I was watching a video by someone who spends some time making videos about 2B2T, and this person decided to explore another server other than 2B2T that was the official Vatican Minecraft server. And this person was very ironic and not particularly friendly to the idea of a Minecraft environment managed by a religious organization. And he entered into this video game environment that was based on a video game he's very familiar with. He's very familiar with the social group that plays this video game in the server called 2B2T. And he's saying that the creation of the Vatican Minecraft server was essentially a magnet for trolls, for internet trolls. specifically internet trolls that are very familiar with Minecraft. And it occurred to me that the more extreme in either conservative or liberal side of things a social media platform is produced, it tends to attract the exact opposite as well. Facebook has Catholic Facebook pages. The Vatican Minecraft server attracts griefers. Now, what are griefers? Griefers are people who enter into the Minecraft environment with a mind to destroy and blow up buildings that are in that environment and break down other people's achievements. In 2B2T, people build bases, but the bases that are near the spawning location don't last. They get destroyed very quickly. And so people who want to build bases, they move farther away from the spawning point. Now, the spawning point is basically destroyed in that area. The original image was of rolling hills with water bodies all over the place, trees everywhere, animals. It was really nice looking. And at a certain point, lots of players decided to join this particular Minecraft server after they found out about it. And this sudden increase in attention lagged the server, slowed down the video game play. And the regular players, a lot of them decided they didn't want more new players. So some of them would lie in wait or set traps for the people who spawned at the original spawn location, which was a single spawn location. The problem with that is it made it very easy to just hang out there and attack with superior weapons and methods, or cause obstructions or difficulties for the people who were spawning in as new players. So the admin decided at some point to semi-randomize the spawn point to within a range of the original spawn point. And so the people the griefers, and anyone who didn't want the new players to come in, had a little bit more of a challenge to catch every one of these people and destroy their avatars or obstruct their ability to navigate that space. And so it expanded the area within which this activity would modify the environment, cause damage to it, or disrupt the shape and form of the apparent landforms and so forth. There was even a period mentioned in some of the videos where groups of people went through and destroyed all the tree images in the entire area because that was a critical supply source needed in order to make tools and implements for the show, for the video game. This is pretty interesting stuff. The thing that caught my attention is in 2B2T, you don't have one type of activity, just chaos and people destroying everything. You've got two. People building the most intricate and beautifully made constructions that would not last. They're pretty typical that in the videos that I've seen, they comment that as soon as these constructions are discovered, as soon as they're made public, the griefers go to that location. And I should mention that the in-world map for 2B2T is incredibly huge. The data is measured in terabytes, according to the videos. So it can take days or even weeks to travel from the spawn point to one of these locations, with some exceptions. And that is the motivation to choose a location well out on the outskirts of the map, as far as you can go, build your super special cool location, sometimes with the aid of several people in concert, because then it's harder for the griefers to find the location and destroy it. And so you have the creative and the destructive. Now, in the Vatican example of the Minecraft server, you have a very different, highly moderated environment. It still has the same mechanics rules, essentially, give or take a little bit, except that you're likely to have the spawn point be only a single spawn point. Why is that? Because in that environment, that constant warfare on new players is not likely to happen. Now, the reason for that is that in one environment, you have very few, if any, rules that affect players. And the thing that affects players is the attitude of those players who find themselves in a superior position. Versus in a more conservative environment, you get a lot of moderation, you get a lot of rules, but players can safely enter that environment and interact with that environment, but they have far less ability to change that environment. There's a concept in computing called the checksum, and it's used to check the integrity of a computer file system. The reason for this is that it's essentially an algorithm that outputs a number. And what it takes is the binary file of any kind of computer file and runs this algorithm and spits out a number, depending on of certain variables that go into this algorithm. You might get a 16-bit or a 32-bit number or something of that nature, which is based on the memory size that you're working with for any given computer application. And so if you take a Word file with a bunch of text on it, and you do a checksum run, and then you change a period or an O, right? You change it from one Unicode character to another, anything. And you run that checksum thing again, you get an entirely different number. It's not really practicable to reverse engineer that checksum number to get the original document. That would require very, very, very heavy number calculations, and you don't hear about people succeeding in doing this. But you can tell that there's been a change. Now, if we think of Minecraft as the algorithm, and the variable being the rules and the players on the server, then 2B2T is a baseline checksum of people when they involve themselves over a long period of time on Minecraft. And if you go to any other server for Minecraft, you will get a different result that is an amalgam of the rules, the moderators, and the particular people who choose to play on that server. This is Darren Marchant with American Nomad News. Have a blessed day.